Assault rifles are an ideal weapon category for people in full buy situations. With their high damage output and long range, they can do good damage at pretty much all ranges. But instead of me focusing on the overused weapons, we're instead going to look at the statistics of the different assault rifles and compare their values. Welcome to Critical Ops Academy episode number 5, with your host Mantis. I'm hoping that by the end of this episode, you'll all have a better understanding of the different assault rifles, and maybe occasionally buy something else other than the AK-47. Without further ado, let's get right into this episode. First, I'm going to look at the damage statistics for each assault rifle. It's important to note that at longer ranges, the damage of these guns are different, so we will be evaluating the damage statistics of each gun at both short and long distances, starting with the burst and ending with the SG. I am also evaluating all of these statistics against enemies with Kevlar, because in most few situations you will have armor. So the first weapon we're going to go over is the burst assault rifle. It seems to do roughly 25 damage per body shot and about 20 damage per leg shot. This means at closer ranges it takes 4 to 5 bullets to kill someone, 4 if you aim at the chest, and 5 if you hit a leg shot or 2. Notice that if you are using a burst, a headshot does not instantly kill, meaning that if you use a burst, it is obviously good to aim for the head, but it will not instantly kill. At longer ranges, it takes 5 shots from the chest and below to kill an enemy with a burst. Because of bullet spread, you're most likely never going to hit all 5 shots on someone from farther away, so it's important to note that it might take 2 to 3 bursts to take out an enemy at farther ranges. Now that we know about the damage stats, I'm going to cover the pros and cons of using it. First, the burst only costs $1,800, meaning it makes for a very good weapon if you aren't rich enough to buy an AK and Kevlar. The burst has almost no recoil, so it's very easy to control. It also has the potential to outgun someone with a regular assault rifle, meaning it's an ideal weapon for a half-buy or playing bonus rounds. With a lower fire rate and a damage output, this weapon is not ideal for close range encounters, but makes for a really good defensive weapon. The next weapon on our list is the M4. This gun does about 30 damage to the body and 25 to the leg, meaning it will take 4 shots to kill someone at full HP. The M4 also does not do 100 headshot damage, meaning the enemy can survive a dink from an M4. At longer ranges, the M4 always requires 5 shots to kill someone if you are aiming at the chest and below. The M4 is an ideal weapon because it has almost no recoil and has the fastest fire rate out of all of the assault rifles, making it a very powerful weapon. With its lower recoil, the M4 is ideal for holding or attacking head glitches, as it's much easier to eliminate the opponent. The lower recoil also makes it better for taking out enemies at much longer ranges. The M4 shoots fast but deals almost no aim punch and less damage to the enemy, meaning if your opponent uses a weapon with more aim punch like the AK-47, there's a good chance you might lose that gunfight. Up next is the AK-47, the most used assault rifle in Critical Ops. The gun does about 32 damage to the leg and almost 40 to the chest. The AK-47 will take 3 to 4 shots to ideally kill someone at close ranges. At longer ranges, the AK-47 will always take 4 shots to kill an opponent if you're aiming at the chest or lower. Although enemies can't survive a headshot from closer ranges, it is possible to get dinked by an AK and live if shot from much farther away. With a high damage output, the AK-47 is ideal for aggressive plays as well as defending. The AK-47 has some pretty high recoil, meaning that it is not exactly the best assault rifle for long-range engagements. It deals a moderate amount of damage to aim punch to the enemy when using it, which gives you a better chance at winning your gunfights. Up next, we have the HK417. It does over 50 damage to the body and about 40 to the leg and below. This means if you're aiming at the chest, the HK417 only takes 2 shots to kill an enemy, and 3 if you're aiming at the legs. At longer ranges, the HK417 always takes 3 shots to kill an enemy if aiming at the chest or lower. However, no matter the range, you can never survive a headshot from the HK. That means if you aim for the head, you will always instantly kill your opponent. The HK417 has the slowest fire rate of all the assault rifles, as well as the slowest reload and pullout time. However, the HK has the least recoil out of all the assault rifles. This means it's not exactly the best weapon for making aggressive plays, but the HK is extremely powerful for playing slower or defending on longer range maps. The next assault rifle is the OGG. At closer ranges, the OGG takes 3 shots to kill someone in the chest and 4 to kill someone if aiming at the chest or below. An enemy will also survive a dink from the AUG at all ranges. At longer ranges, the AUG takes 4 shots to kill an enemy. The AUG has a silencer, but is still a very loud assault rifle. In addition, the AUG has the worst recoil out of all the assault rifles. If I'm going to be completely honest with you right now, I would never advise buying the AUG because it costs a whopping $3,000, and for its terrible statistics, it's not really worth it. The AUG would lose the gunfight to every single assault rifle, including the $1,800 burst, so it's much better to just stick with a cheaper assault rifle. Hopefully in the next balance update, the AUG gets a nice buff, because right now I would never buy the AUG if I was in a serious situation. Finally, we have the SG. This gun takes 3 shots to kill an enemy at all ranges if aiming at the chest or lower, and always kills an enemy with a headshot at all ranges just like the HK. The SG has the highest vertical recoil of all the assault rifles. The AUG has a lot of recoil and the most out of all assault rifles, but most of its recoil is horizontal spread. The SG is different because it has a really high vertical recoil. The SG is probably the most powerful assault rifle in the game, because if you can master the recoil, it's deadly at all ranges. This is why the rifle costs $3,200, meaning if you want to buy it with armor, it costs $4,000. Buying the SG is a good option if you have a lot of extra money from winning rounds, but I would not advise buying an SG if it will make you go broke, because dying with it and losing the round can cause you to go into an eco round. That's all I have to say about the different assault rifles. Next time you go in a game, try out some of these other assault rifles, instead of always buying an AK or M4. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Critical Ops Academy. Please give me any feedback you have in the comments so I can continue to improve this series. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.